Avenue, Lahog, Cebu City. DYUP Sugbo is operated and maintained under the management of Mila Marie Legahit, DYUP Station Manager, along with Bianca Marie Cabrera, Assistant Station Manager. DYUP Sugbo is technically managed by DYUP's Technical Committee under the supervision of Taina Rubinos, the technical head. DYUP Sugbo's programs are produced and curated by the Programming Committee under the supervision of Daisy Rosos, the programming head. DYUP Sugbo's official Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter accounts are run by the Publicity Committee under Gilia Marie Dayan, DYUP's publicity head. DYUP Sugbo's records and documents are managed by Julia Marie Kilantang, DYUP's secretary. DYUP Sugbo's Executive Committee, Technical Committee, Programming Committee, and Publicity Committee are under the supervision of Sir Maurice Chidi Villa Esther, DYUP's advisor. DYUP Sugbo 98.9 Kauban Nimo is now signing on.
Sa ilahang day-to-day life, and we expect sad nga
Mga
our lives
kababayan,
should be like that.
ang pambansang awit
really,
ng Pilipinas.
is emotionally disconnected.
I mean, you know how Filipinos are like the most... You mentioned here like about screen time.
there's no stopping now. Can you hear the beat blasted out? Tuning here for a great surprise. Ride the airwaves and come realize there's a lot of land and much to see. Come be updated here in UPC. Turn your radio on, you'll find your way. DYUP
easy to save the day. DYUP, kaubani mo, you will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, kaubani mo, DYUP, kaubani mo, you will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, kaubani mo.
The world's heavy, don't give up. Raise your voice, fight and do not stop. Yes, we hear you, you are not alone. Radio's not dead, yes, we are on.
DYUP kauban mo, bisan asa magkamuan ko.
Music o balita nga bago, adi kini para sa imo.
Maski ikaw lang usa, daghang isag asa.
DYUP, kabyaan, andam ang pagsilbihan.
There's a lot of land and much to see. Come be up in and hear UPC. Turn your radio on, you'll find your way. DYUPC to save the day.
DYUP, kaubani mo, you will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, kaubani mo, DYUP, kaubani mo, you will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, kaubani mo, kaubani mo, kaubani mo, kaubani mo, DYUP, kaubani mo.
Live on air from the University of the Philippines Cebu Radio Booth in service of the people. This is 98.9 DYUP Sugbo, kaubani mo.
And I am Christine Belongo.
You're listening to
Ayaw UP Cebu, the beat of campus, the pulse of news.
For the headlines,
South Bus Terminal bound for SUP relocation.
civilian access to high-powered lines concerns senators.
China to legitimize defend rights in South China Sea.
Benin announces solo concert at New Frontier Theater.
Gula brings UST the victory over FEU Lady Tamaraws in UAAP Women's Volleyball.
Today is March 8, 2024, 10:19 in the morning. Good morning mga eskolar ng bayan to our fellow listeners, both online and on demand.
Good morning, UP Cebu, and happy International Women's Day. The sun is still hot along with our top stories prepared for today.
Happy International Women's Day, Kristen.
Yes, happy International Women's Day to everyone, to all the women out there and mga eskolar ng bayan. And we have so much in store for you today for our discussion later on.
Indeed, there is so much in store for today along with our stories as we will be graced to have attorney Archil Capistrano as our guest today.
So stay tuned for our discussion later on as we will be talking about the celebration of International Women's Day.
Now for our top story, South Bus Terminal bound for SRP relocation. Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama has survived the proposal to relocate the Cebu South Bus Terminal CSBT to the South Road Properties, or SRP, as part of accommodating an ongoing Cebu Bus Rapid Transit, or SBRT project. Mayor Rama called for the urgent passage of an ordinance to facilitate immediate transfer of the bus terminal from N. Bacalso Avenue to the SRP during his program, Ingnang Mayor, on March 5, 2024. The move is prompted by the CBRT project's progress, where one of our 4 bus station for Package 1 is being constructed in front of the current CSBT location. Delays and setbacks, including a stoppage ordered by Governor Gwendolyn Garcia, have prompted the need for relocation. The proposed move is crucial for the seamless implementation of the CBRT project and addresses challenges faced during its construction. The urgency underscores the need for collaboration between local government entities to ensure efficient public transportation and infrastructure development.
For the national news, civilian access to high-powered guns concerns senators. Last Wednesday, senators expressed their concern about the decision of the Philippine National Police to ease civilian ownership of high-powered firearms like rifles, saying that it will compromise public safety. The PNP recently announced that there will be adjustments in the current implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act 1059-1 or the Comprehensive Law on Firearms and Ammunition. This allows civilians to own and get licenses for high-powered weapons. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros called for the amendment of the law, saying there is a need to make regulations stronger against the proliferation of firearms. According to her, hoarding high-powered weapons should not be a hobby. The community would be much safer if few firearms could be used to kill or commit other crimes. Meanwhile, Senator Amy Marcos said in a statement that such a decision might encourage an increase in criminality and widespread violence in the country, among others, especially during the upcoming 2025 elections. Marcos added that the penalties for firearm misuse will not have any worth but cold comfort to the families of victims. Hontiveros also emphasizes that the act should be amended to have tighter, not looser, gun control as it currently enables so-called gun collectors to acquire more than 15 high-powered weapons without explicit restrictions.
For the international news, China to legitimize defend rights in South China Sea. Following the numerous incidents involving the Chinese and Philippine ships that were disputed in the waterway, Beijing will legitimately defend its rights in the South China Sea, the country's foreign minister said Thursday. Here's Mabel Aton for the details.
China makes territorial claims in almost all portions of the South China Sea. It seeks to assert sovereignty despite its competing claims from Southeast Asian nations, with an international arbitration ruling that its stance has no legal basis. Addressing a press conference at the two sessions, the Foreign Minister of China, Wang Yi, said that on maritime disputes, China has always maintained a high degree of restraint. Tensions between China and the Philippines are still flaring up following the recent months as ships from both countries clashed in the contested reefs, with the most recent dispute taking place this week. This is Mabel Aton, DYUP Sugbo, kauban nimo.
For today's broadcast, we are delighted to have Attorney Archel Capistrano, UP Cebu Office of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Coordinator, as our guest today. So stay tuned as she will be sharing about the celebration of International Women's Day when we come back at DYUP Sugbo after this short break.
We keep going in circles. We keep trying. We ask the same questions over and over again. You don't tell me what you need. I don't understand what you want from me anymore.
Unsa man jud, babe? Asa man ta mangaon?
Maun na. Dapat naminaw jud ta sa nakaka-local before ta nihawa. This is a friendly reminder from Nakaka-Local. Naa namo tanan. Kalihok, kasadya, kadasig sa kinatibukan sa Cebu.
Once upon a confession.
Wala man jud ko'y marantan sa akong feelings. Oy, I don't know sad. Asa mga yung advice? Oble! Help me!
Psst! Iska! Got something to share? Need personal advice? Don't worry. We got your back. Kay diri sa Dear Oble, you are heard. Pwede ka makasubmit og entry and be one of our chosen anonymous senders. Catch Addie and Daisy, and Ruth and Shiara as we chika mapa social, love, akads, or life in general while Oble listens.
Oble? Mao ba? Is this really true?
Oh yeah. Dear Oble, your avenue to be heard, one confession at a time.
Now we're back here still listening to Sai-Ayo UP Cebu. It's 10:25 in the morning. Now with our most awaited guest, we are delighted to have Attorney Archil Capistrano, UP Cebu Office of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Coordinator, as our guest for today's broadcast.
So good morning, Attorney. For the sake of all our fellow listeners right now, can you please introduce yourself and your affiliation?
Hello, maayong buntag kanatong tanan ug maayong adlaw sa mga kababainhan. I am Archil Nina Falier Capistrano. You can call me Arch Capistrano. I am the coordinator of the Office of Anti-Sexual Harassment or OWASH. Usapod ko ka teacher sa ato ang College of Social Sciences sa Political Science program.
Okay, so for the sake of our fellow listeners here at Sai-Ayo UP Cebu, so what are we celebrating today?
Okay, today is the International Women's Day. In fact, naana tay mga legal mandates nagtubod ni, for example, sa Proclamation number 224 in 1988. Of course, you would know nga pag 1988 mauna ang panahon nga nakasinati ta og presidente na atay presidente first female or woman president si Corazon Aquino. No, so Proclamation number 224 series of 1988 declared the first week of March of every year as Women's Week, and March 8 na 1988 every year is Women's Rights and International Peace Day. And then naapagyulain nga proklamasyon number 227 series of 1988 providing for the observance of the month of March as Women's Role in History Month. So the entire March gud ni siya. And then of course United Nations recognizes March 8 as International Women's Day. Ug naapod tay local gyud nga balaod, Republic Act number 6949 series of 1990, an act to declare March 8th of every year as a working special holiday to be known as National Women's Day. So karon nga tuig na apod tay mga nagkalahi-lahi nga tema no sa United Nations, especially UN Women. Ang 2024 theme nato is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Sa naay specific pod nga site on International Women's Day, gitawag ang ilang theme is Inspire Inclusion. Sa atoa sa PCW, which is the Philippine Commission on Women, ang general theme from 2023 to 2028 mao ni siya, we, meaning women equality, for gender equality and inclusive society, with the sub-theme for 2024, Lipunang Patas sa Bagong Pilipinas, Kakayahan ng Kababaihan Patutunayan.
No, this serves a lot of importance nowadays. And for you, attorney, as a woman, and someone who experience as a teacher, as a woman in the academe,
Actually, very challenging ang mag-teacher in the academe, but it's very promising also because as we note, unlike before, of course, mga sa naunang panahon, mas daghang mga kalalakinan. In fact, schools, formal education were only exclusive for the male, no? The males, mga kalalakinan. But you would note, especially here in UP, mas daghan na rong mga kababainhan nga mga estudyante, no? Nga nitungha sa universidad. Ug bisan sa ato ang basic education. Ang ako alang pod ani, no? Nga usapod nga pagabantayan nato, dapat vigilanta kay bisan daghan, mas daghang mga kababainhan ron nga nitungha. Dili baya na ipasabot nga kadaghanan pod nagatrabaho, pwede baya nga unemployed, or kung employed mangani, underemployed sila, o kung employed mangani, ang sweldo pod patas ba, equal work for equal pay ba. So daghan pagihapon tang angay nga bantayanan.
Yes, indeed. Ug kuan sad attorney is a usa ka woman in the academe ug usapad ka active member in the society. For you, unsa man ang role of women sa community or in the society?
Okay. Ang kababainhan pariha ra gyud pud siya sa kalalakinan, no? Ang iyahang balor, ang iyang worth mao na nga kinahanglan mo atong dasigon ang ato ang mga kababainhan nga i-assert gyud nila ang ilahang mga katungod, og dili lang diha kutob kinahanglan no, because I'm also teaching political science 164 which is gender and politics. Dasigon gyud nato ang mga kalalakinan mismo kay walay pulos ang ato ang pakigbisog for gender equality kung wala tay allies.
Yes.
Kung dili apil ang mga kalalakinan sa atong pakigbisog for gender equality, and not only that, gender equity kay abay kalahian pod ang equality ug equity no. So mauna siya ang atong angay pagabantayan nga ato ang mga tinun-an ug ang mga tawo nga makahalubilo nato no, makasalamuhan nato pohon because for service man ta nga dapat ato nang ibutang sa ato ag yung alimpatakan nga ang ato ang pagserbisyo dili na mo ila og unsa imong gender.
Yes,
no, na ay kakayahan ang kada usa mababay malalaki.
Nindot jud na attorney no, unsa man ang dapat mahibawan sa tong listeners no calls and campaigns na dapat nato i-fight, ilaban.
Okay, sa diri sa UP no, ako na lang gyud tan-awon from our in our own backyard na agyud tay lined up nga naka-line up nga mga activities. Nagsugod of course atong Marso 1, welcoming the National Women's Month with #Purple Friday. So every Friday mao na karon no, naka-purple ko na kay tungod mao ni siya ang atong observance no. Naapoy #purple your icon. So sa ato ang Facebook, we can actually check the twibbon nga pwede nato gamiton sa atong profile picture. Naana siya sa PCW, so pwede ra gyud kaayo nga atong usbon ang ato ang profile picture sa Facebook para ma-reflect ang atong theme karon no. And then ato pong March 1 after sa flag lowering na ay OBR or 1 Billion Rising Zumba Part 1. Unya sigundaan na karon, so ako no, so mao to March 1. Pag March 4 atos nag-flag racing pud ta. So naatay trivia questions, na ay banding no, announcement of course of our activities. And then today, which is of course International Women's Day, na ata karon as we speak na ay ongoing gender sensitivity training with our faculty, admin, staff and reps na aron sa Lawak Sinihan. That's our AVR2 no. And then today dili pa na wa pa na mahuman kay in the afternoon before flag lowering, because it's a Friday, na atay yoga. And then after the flag lowering with the AUP-AEU, our university union, no, and the UPC students, we will be having the 1 Billion Rising Part 2 nga Zumba. So katong mga dancers, feel free to join us later on sa Oble, our Oblation Square, for this. And then ayog kabalaka kay after March 8, after today, naapagid tayo naka-line up nga activities. For example, Monday next week, 11 March, we have Juana Speaks, Women's Rights are Human Rights Forum with the Commission on Human Rights, in collaboration of course with our Gender and Development Office and the UP Political Science Society. This is from 8 to 5 p.m. and to i-conduct sa PAH or Performing Arts Hall. Inika-13 sa Marso, that's a Wednesday, na ata sa ato ang first responders training for faculty and student leaders. So this is actually part of #AshFirst 2024 na karon. Kay sa una nagsugod magyunig #AshFirst 2022 nga because of that project baya no, in making our UP Cebu stakeholders o community members as competent first responders on anti-sexual harassment, nakadawat og special citation ang UP Cebu from the Philippine Commission on Women and the Anti-Poverty Commission for gender mainstreaming in the education sector. No, so padayon jud ni nato kay kani importante ni siya no. And then of course 25 March, I think this would be the last day for March, no? Nga natay kalihukan. This is a Monday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon na ay stress management for a better mental health, because of course, no, ang ato ang well-being importante man na siya kay kasagaran ra bang gender-based violence na agyud na siya negative impact diri sa mental health no nato. But it doesn't end in March because ika-Abril manggod, every April 3 is International Day Against Victim Blaming. So ang OWASH ani na ami murag online nga campaign ani. And then with God again, Sisterhood sa God ug OWASH ika 25 April naatay ipahigayon pohon nga forum in observance of the International Girls in ICT Day. So kana siya nun yung naapod tay pasasalamat for UPC CAD and Trailblazers, and hopefully we'll be having our MOA signing with between UP and our SIDLAC partners pohon. So it's really a lot of activities to be engaged in. So hopefully ayaw gid mo kaikog, apil gyud, kinahanglan mag-apil-apil gyud ta, no, di lang magmarites kundi mo apil gyud aron mas mabulukon, mas meaningful ang atong observance sa National Women's Month.
So before we end our discussion, Attorney, no, and to all for our fellow listeners karon, can you give them a message or invite them nga magpadayon og kanang participate sa mga naka-line up nga activities for this month?
Okay. So sa ako ang kasagaran nga isulti when it comes to women equality, when men and women dili angay mag-compete.
Yeah.
Dapat between com and pete, comp and ETE, dapat na ay L. No, mahimo instead of mag-compete, dapat ang mga kababainhan o mga kalalakinan mo complete sila because they are parts of society. So wala gyud, one half ra gyud ang atong society kung ang hatagan lang og bili ang mga kalalakinan lang. Angay gyud nga equal ang paghatag og bili sa kababainhan og sa kalalakinan, so that hopefully in the future di na nato kinahanglan pa nga mag-celebrate or mag-observe og International Women's Day kay naanay gender equity og equality. So hopefully akong gidasig ang tanan nato nga mga miyembro diri sa UP Cebu, and especially apil pod baya atong mga kanang kahigalaan, no, especially kung online nga campaign, ayaw mo kaikog nga mo apil ani nga mga kalihukan sa UP Cebu, especially sa Gender and Development Office o sa Office of Anti-Sexual Harassment. Note nga daghan ning mga organisasyon, no, nga apil pod atong TLRC, ang OSA, ang UPC University Student Council, and then several student organizations kay kani importante mahinungdanon gyud ni nato nga pagabuhaton for gender equality and gender equity.
Yes.
Sa atong listeners today, dapat ta mag-question, who are the women in your life you're grateful for? Or kinsa man nato ang dapat na mapasalamaton? Ato bang mama? Ato bang papa? Thank you so much, Attorney, for your time and sharing your expertise on air here at Sayayo UP Cebu.
Daghan pong salamat.
Now for the latest chicas in the world of show business. Beanie announces solo concert at New Frontier Theater. We have our resident chikadora Fernche Lim for the latest updates.
P-pop sensation Beanie is set to light up the stage with a solo concert on June 28th at the New Frontier Theater in Quezon City. The announcement came during a press conference for their upcoming extended play, Tala Arawan, where Beanie's leader Joanna Robles excitedly shared the news. With hits like Na 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 and Wag Muna Tayong Umuwi, Beanie gained the attention of fans. Their most recent extended play aims to make a personal connection with its audience to provide them comfort and joy. Fans may look forward to an amazing evening full of passionate moments and exciting performances as the hype for each artist grows. Make sure you're there for Beanie's breathtaking event. You won't want to miss out on this. This is your up-to-date chikadora Fernche Lim, DYUP Sugbo, Kauban Nimo.
For the latest updates in sports, Gula brings UST the victory over FEU Lady Tamaraos in UAP Women's Volleyball. Saiza Gula, sophomore hitter of the UST Lady Tigresses, rescues her squad to claim the win against FEU Lady Tamaraos. Here's Gwyneth Tinga for the latest action in sports.
P-pop sensation Beanie is set to light up the stage with a solo concert on June 28th at the New Frontier Theater in Quezon City. The announcement came during a press conference.
UST keeps the record clean with 4 wins and 0 losses after winning against their rival FEU Lady Tamaraos in a thrilling 5-setter match. After being down 2-0, head coach Kung Fu Reyes subbed in Gula as his magic bunot. Despite making a service error in the deciding 5th set, Gula scored the last 4 points to claim USD's win. She was also declared player of the game with 13 points, 12 from attacks and 1 service ace. UST is set to maintain the winning momentum against the Ateneo Blue Eagles on Saturday to stay on top of UAAP Season 86 Women's Volleyball.
Gunasting ga DYUP Sugbo, kauban nimo.
For the recap,
South Bus Terminal bound for SRP relocation.
Civilian access to high-powered guns concerns senators.
China to legitimize defend rights in South China Sea.
Vinny announced a solo concert at New Frontier Theater.
Gula brings UST the victory over FEU Lady Tamaraos in UAAP Women's Volleyball.
Those are the top stories for today's broadcast. Thank you for listening to Sayayo UP Cebu,
the beat of campus, the pulse of news.
Once again, this has been Yusuf Pulvera
and Christine Pelongo. You've been listening to 98.9 and DYUP Sugbo, kauban nimo.
Ugma magat unko
literature,
ka
literary delights,
Ugma
bite-sized tales, endless possibilities. Good morning, everyone.
Mahanaw ra ang kahilaw nga kabati ko karon
but very thought-provoking
sa mga higayong
entitled
wala na
Many will read to us 2 essays from Brianna Weist's 101 essays that will change the way you think. Specifically,
sa pagkakaroon sa
the author's published writing.
ubiya
Contrasting the directness of this genre, Zyko will
kinabuhi
read to us
ko
in 2011.
sa pagkakaroon patuyangin mga danggo
So the discussion
tingali
varied from the perspectives of those in different fields. You can find links to these authors' publications
ay laksa
you can read and
sa
support them while listening.
pagkakaroon.
We are also open to receive submissions to read your literary works on the show. Check the DYUP Sugbo page for more details. And now, let's listen to our first reading segment.
Ugma tultulon ko
Hi, I'm
ang
May, and welcome to
matalan.
Today's episode we'll be reading essay 7
Ugma
of
tundong
Brianna Weist's
ang katuigan hindi inwala pa ka sa akong kiliran ugo sa umba ang mag-inusara kining tanang mahupay ra sa panahon mauna sa pagkakaroon magpabili ng sako dili sa gihapon sa kagahapon.
They've not projected meaning into everything they see.
Sa
Assume
pagkakaroon
that everything they
ng
see or hear has something to do with them. They do not
ugbiya
compare themselves to other people simply because the idea that other people
ning
exist in comparison to
kinabuhi ko sa pagkakaroon batuyangin mga danggo ug tingali maganggo rakupuhon ay langsa sa pagkakaroon.
even if they're afraid of it. They live with discomfort in favor of breaking it.
Oh.
Rather than deflect
Ay lang
they
sa
people's flaws in an effort to diminish their strengths. Do not respond to someone's successes with observations about their failures.
Di na gyud mabalik ang tanan. Luha nga nahulog sa imong mga mata. Di na gyud kabayran ang tanang kasakit tungod sa mga adlaw nawala. Kung mahimo lang anong diba, baylo na lang tao kasing-kasing itang duha. Imuhan na ning ako ug ako nang imo, kalimtin na tanan mong pagsubok. Kung gusto ka, tuyog na lang tamuha, palayo ning tanan, dito tayo babaw sa ang magkaway nga buwan. Ayaw kahadlok nito, yan isa akong tupan. Di na ka mo hinalusan. Walan ko tanan ang kasuko, pagsabi dito sa may buntod nga gabi. Abangan di kagsinggit sa tanang gibati mo, ayaw nagkabala ka na. Tuyog na lang tamuha, palayo ning tanan, dito tayo babaw sa hamo kawan naman. Ayaw kahadlok ikaw, yan di sa akong tuban. Di na ka mo hinalusan. Saling lang kahit di ka kamiyan, di ka kamiyan. Oh, ipanon pa ako nga, di na ka mahulang, di na ka mahulang sa mundo. Ipanon pa ako nga, di na ka mahulang, di na ka mahulang sa tuyog na lang tamuha, palayo ning tanan, dito tayo babaw sa hamo kawan naman. Ayaw kahadlok ikaw, yan isa akong tuban. Di na ka mo
Emotions outlast the memories that created them. We take past emotions and project them onto situations that are in our